guys, welcome to another virtual Come and Taste It. I'm Connor with Regina from Texas SouthWind Winery in Refugio, Texas.
Yes.
And you guys might be the only one out there, right?
We are the only ones in that area.
That's awesome. That's one of the first things people see is like, Refugio, what's in Refugio? And,
I know.
You know, and I just think that's really cool because that's just, that's Texas for you. There's a lot of cool and big things happening in every corner of the state.
Yeah.
So.
The only thing you see driving down that road that we're on is cows.
So we're lucky today to have you. For those who don't know, Texas SouthWind is my absolute #1 bestseller in the entire store of everything that I've ever sold, ever. That one specifically is the Blackberry, which we will get to.
Yes.
Best for last, right?
Yes.
So we have a treat today. This is new to me. I've never had this pear.
Mm-hmm.
And what's cool is you guys do fruit wines.
Yes.
So how do you, because when you taste it, it's like the most, I mean, I've had fruit-infused alcohols and wines and beers even, but like you have the most pure sort of like
Vibrant.
Yes,
Vibrant
legitimate fruit flavor I've had out of a wine.
Yes.
How?
Well, the fruit wines, let me tell you a story. We opened in 2009, December of 2009. And we opened with 462 bottles of wine on the shelf.
Wow.
After the opening, we had 30 left. And
Wow.
it's like, oh no, what do we do? You know, because you can't just like make a grape wine, you know, a cab or a Malbec or a Pinot, you know, and get it out on the shelf in 30 days.
Yeah.
So it's like, we'll make a fruit wine. I
Wow.
found a supplier for Blackberry. Got it in. My husband and I worked with it, and it was absolutely delicious. So that is actually our very first fruit wine, is the Blackberry, and that's what we've been known for. Is we're the Blackberry wine people.
Yeah.
Or now we're the fruit wine people.
There was no manipulation to grapes to get it to taste like anything.
No.
It's just naturally like that.
It's just pear. The pear is one of our newer wines, and it is seasonal. It's very light, very refreshing. It's got a nice, even though it's pear, it's got like a hint of citrus to it.
Yeah. You can definitely get that on the nose. Like
Yes.
That's the first thing I'm like, okay, there's a citrus there, and then there's definitely that like pear, you know.
Yes. And our fruit wines, the reason they're so vibrant is they're made 100% fruit.
Yeah.
It's not grape based, it's not fruit infused, it's not flavored, added. It's just whatever's on that bottle, that's what you get. If it says Blackberry fruit wine, that's what's in there is Blackberry.
Yeah.
There's nothing else, nothing added, and it's just it's made in the style of a white wine. Because we ferment it
Mm-hmm.
in stainless steel. It goes through the aging process. We filter it 5 times.
Wow.
It goes through this major filtration process. It goes through final filtration, and then it's ready for bottling after we sweeten it and taste it. You know, we get fruits, different seasons, different fruits.
Mm-hmm.
But we try to maintain that same taste year after year, batch after batch.
But I
Well,
really
it's-
need to try this.
Yes, let's taste the pear.
Oh, that's super good.
It's very light. It's a nice, and it's not too sweet. This is one of our fruit wines that is not as sweet. The pear and the apple.
This like 100% reminds me of a Riesling.
It could.
Like in the best way.
Yes.
Like we have some German Rieslings around here that have this really nice like round sort of apple, that crisp sort of tart fruit that we're getting on this. But this isn't super tart on the finish, like a sweet tart, like a German Riesling, you know. But it has those kind of like, it resembles that a little bit. And it's really nice to know that it's just 100% pear.
Yes.
There was no manipulation to grapes to get it to taste like anything.
No.
It's just naturally
it's
like
just
that.
pear.
That's awesome.
Yeah. The first sip is basically acclimating the palate.
Mhm.
So it's actually the second taste that is the actual taste of the wine.
Oh,
But
that's
it's a nice fruit. You know, it would pair well with the pear would pair well
Ah.
with your lighter fish dishes, like your flaky fish,
Absolutely.
white fish, any of your subtle pork dishes, maybe just pasta with olive oil,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
a green salad.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a nice fruit wine.
I'd want to put it next to something a little spicy because
Oh,
I bet
would
you
you?
that would be amazing. Oh yeah. Have you ever
Like
tried?
jalapenos?
Yes, jalapeno or like a habanero sort of. They have like habanero mango sort of dressing thing. It's just like raspberry juice.
Yeah, it is, with the kick. So, shall we taste the raspberry?
I would love to, and
Okay.
this one is actually my favorite of
Is it?
your fruit wines. Yes, ma'am.
Ooh.
I grew up eating raspberries in the also big state of Alaska. They just grew like in my grandfather's front yard, like next to his mailbox. So when he wasn't looking, I'd just eat them. So it brings like memories back to me, of course, because it tastes just like wild raspberries. But and you'll see when we get the blackberry in here, it's a little lighter.
It is.
It's a little. I'm kind of a wimp sometimes, so it's a little lighter. It's got a little more of a tartness to it as well.
does.
But like I said, wild raspberry. It's like uncanny.
Well, I gotta tell you a story right quick. My assistant winemaker, his name is Tanner. We've known him since he was 5 years old.
Oh wow.
When he was 13, he came to work for us part-time. And he worked like 1 day a week. And then when he turned 19, he was full-time.
Oh wow.
He is now my assistant winemaker. Anytime we go to start finishing the raspberry, I kind of just let him have the reins because I always stop too short on the sweetness.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm a very dry winemaker.
Yeah, that's just so good. It's just like raspberry juice.
Yeah, it is, with the kick.
Yeah. And that's what I love too is like I can, and it could be a little dangerous sometimes, but I can barely tell. There's alcohol in
Till the
this.
third glass. And then it's like, whoa, what's
And then
in
I'm
that?
like, why can't I stand
And it's like,
normally?
how much? Oh, 10%. Yeah,
Oh, this is like normal wine.
yeah, it is. But yeah, he does an excellent job on the raspberry.
That is such a cool story.
Mm-hmm.
In some ways, I kind of feel like, our owners with the Grapevine, like they found me when I was just a lost puppy kind of thing, and I've been here ever since. And it's just kind of cool to know, like, that's kind of what this industry is.
Yes.
Just a lot of people being really cool to each other and producing things that they love, and just being around what they love and their passions. So
Yeah.
it even hits for people that aren't really into sweet because it's so
Yes.
unique.
So I've got a story about the blackberry too.
Oh, I love your stories. This is the creme de la crop.
This is our top selling fruit wine everywhere. The blackberry fruit wine is our top selling wine. Now, as I said, I'm a dry wine drinker.
Mm-hmm.
So, with a dry winemaker, a dry wine drinker making fruit wines, you're not going to get syrup.
Yeah.
Because if I can't drink it, I'm not going to put it on the shelf. But this is our blackberry. I know, of course, everything's 100% fruit, pear, raspberry, blackberry. The blackberry, I have a lot of dry red wine drinkers that like the blackberry.
Same.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, but we
I
love
do
those
love that.
fruits.
I get people, hey, I love, the driest cab you got. And then really they just say blackberry, that just looks good.
Yeah.
And
they
then
taste
I'm like,
it.
hey, it's our best seller. It's like really good.
Yeah.
So then they taste it and then they're like, I can't believe I'm doing this. And then they buy a case. And then I say the same thing. I can't believe you're doing this either.
But here's a case.
But here's a case. Let me
You
carry
want
it to your
another
car
one?
for you. Yeah.
But,
Let's get
and
one
I
more.
think what it is the blackberry, it's not as heavy as a cab, but it could be the same body style as a Pinot Noir.
Yeah, I totally agree.
It's got a nice fullness
Mhm.
on the palate. It's not real heavy, but it's not real light. It's just that medium-bodied wine, and it's flavorful.
Flavorful, it cascades really well on
Yeah.
the palate. Like it's super smooth.
It's it's heavier than the other fruit wines. It's almost like a red. In fact, if you didn't know that it was blackberry, you
Right.
would think that it was a sweeter red.
It looks like a Pinot Noir to me.
It does.
Like just right off the bat.
Yeah. I make wines to make people smile. That's what I like. I like to see them smile.
Love that.
Yes.
That's my motto as well.
Cheers.
Thank you, Regina, so much.
Thank you.
For coming and doing this with me. It's been such an honor to work with you my entire career at the Grapevine, and it's been really cool to finally get to drink wine with you for once. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you try all of the flavors because they're just all delicious.
They are.
Yeah.